Hi guys, how are you all doing? It's been a while here. You're welcome back to my channel. I greet every one of you. Thank you for joining once again. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming again to watch my video. I really do appreciate you. How are you all doing? I know you are doing fantastic. I know you are doing amazing, and I'm also doing too. So very shortly, what are we going into? Okay, I've had like couple of things in the past, and I just feel this is what happened to me also, and I would like to share my experience and how I handle it. So what is that thing am I going to talk about today? I actually want to talk about when it's actually a relationship stuff anyways, when either your parents or your parents-in-law or anyone is not in support of who you are ready to get married to. Because I know I've had so many things like that. Oh, my dad is not in support, my mom is not in support, how do I handle it, how do I go about it? Things like this also happened to me when I wanted to get married. And this one, it wasn't any of my mentor, it wasn't my in-law. In fact, my in-law accepted it, like everyone around me accepted it, but just one person, and that is the person of my father. My father said, no, you can't get married now. I actually understand some things when it has to do with father, because for me it's like my father already had like a structure of how your life is going to be, like this stage, and then you can now come and be telling me about marriage. And then I let me say I'm due for marriage. I know my mother has been on my neck like, oh, who are you going to get married to? I want to know the person, blah 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 blah. I keep telling him, mommy, just calm down. At the right time, I will let you know. At the right time, you will know this person. So when the time was right for me, I brought it up like, oh, I think I'm ready to get married. And I've prayed about it. I've had some instruction about it. And the next thing is, okay, I think I'm convinced enough to let my parents know this person. So I proceeded to, okay, my mentor, they already know him, his mentors, we met like people, and it was actually like a positive vibe for us. Met my mom, she was happy. I met his mom, met his dad, everybody was happy. Now turn to meet my dad. In fact, before that, I already informed him before now, and he said, no, it's not time for me. And at that time I was actually running my master's program, and I'd already completed my first year. It actually meant to be for 2 years, so I already completed my first year, which is for the coursework. Then the other year should be for research work. So I just feel, okay, since I have less work to do now, let me just bring in marriage stories and all that. So he was of the opinion that no, you can't get married now. That even if you want to talk to me about anything marriage, that you have to get I have to apply for my PhD. Like, he will see me that, okay, you have applied for my PhD now before I can start talking about marriage. Hey. I really do not know what to do. I really do not know what, and I really do not want to tell my mom about it, because if I tell my mom about it, my mom can be emotional about, like, oh, this is what we've been expecting, she now came home, you're not saying blah blah blah. I really do not want that. So I have to just pray about it first. And what did I do? Okay, let me share my experience with you. This was what I did. When he said all of that, I was like, PhD? No. Initially I even wanted to okay, let me manage to finish my master's program. So now you're now coming up with PhD again. Daddy, this cannot work. Oh. So I had to meet my own father, Almighty God. I told God about it. I prayed, and I didn't just pray casually. I made use of my midnight. I prayed about it during midnight, that God, you have the heart of kings in your hand, and you turn it wherever you want. God, I want you to touch my father's heart, for him to agree. At least just meet this person. If it's not somebody you want for me, okay, you can make your opinion known and all that. I prayed about it. I made use of my midnight to pray about it. So after the prayer, and if you watch like a couple of my videos concerning relationship, there's this aspect I talked about. We actually did a couples challenge where I was asking my husband, okay, when I'm happy, what do I do? When I'm sad, what do I do? I know you'll have gotten answer to that question. When I'm happy, I write. And when I'm sad also, I write. So God just laid in my heart that I should write a letter to my father. And I have never written any letter to my father before. What warrants me writing a letter to my father? So I had to, at that point, I wasn't with a laptop. So I was just thinking of, what can I do? So then I called my husband now, that I needed to do something, like, can I come over to make use of your laptop? And he said, what is that? I said, don't worry, when I'm through with it, I'll let you know. So I came over, I made use of his laptop. So at that point, I was overwhelmed. So I just wanted to offload everything in my heart. So I was just typing on the laptop like a letter to my father. I was writing all my heart out to my father. And after writing everything, I showed my husband now. So he went through it. He now said, do you think this will work? I said, let's give it a try. I feel it will work. At least I've poured my heart out. This is all I have to tell my father about it. And he said, really? So he actually went through, he did some corrections, and he said, okay, let's send it to him. So I sent the letter to him on WhatsApp. And he read it. He actually read the letter and gave a response. I know so many of you want to know the content of the letter. I think I have a copy of the letter here, and I would like to just read this for you and know the contents of the letter. There's if you love somebody and if you know somebody, there's a way you communicate to such a person, and you just win such a person's heart. My father knows I love him dearly, and there's nothing my father will tell me that I will not do, because my father has been my mentor all this while. So let me just go through the letter and see the content of the letter. Okay, I titled the letter "A Letter to My Father." That is the subheading. Okay, it goes thus. When I look around me to count God's blessings, no doubt you come first. You are one of God's blessings I will ever be grateful of. God gave me the best father anyone could ever think of. I appreciate God for what you have helped me to do, and indeed grateful to God and to you. There is no amount of thank you that will quantify your love and deed for me. I appreciate and celebrate you, Daddy, for being all I could ever wanted in a father. Daddy, I love you, and I will continue to. And my prayer for you is long life, God's blessings in all ramification. That's paragraph 1. Second paragraph. This might not be the best medium to express my thoughts, as I don't know how you will take it, but I know it will meet you well. Just accept it in love. Daddy, as much as I love you and you want the best for me, I can see it in all approaches to ensure I live well and not depend on anyone before I survive. You have taught me to be independent, contented, hardworking, and believe in my work and do it diligently with all honesty and integrity, which I've applied in all facets of my life. and it has been my drive in one way or the other. Paragraph 3. Daddy, in the time past, I've taken decisions on my own even before I tell you about it, and it has been successful, which I have proofs for. I have never been a concern to you in any way. I have made you proud everywhere I go. I have showcased some of the things you have ever wanted me to be. I have been a good daughter to you that you are proud of. I have seen you go out of your way to ensure that I am happy and comfortable. I know your expectations about me is very high, and you can't just wait for them to start getting it. I have come to a stage where my decisions are to be considered, respected, and supported. Daddy, if there is any other thing I need now is your support in my decision. I want it to be in record that in my lifetime I put up my plan and you supported it. If I can't start taking decisions now, going by when will I start? Daddy, I need your support now without any constraint. Then the last paragraph. Few weeks ago, I discussed a crucial matter with you, which turned out to be a pierce in my heart, because I wasn't expecting that at this stage. I have gotten to the stage I have gotten to. Conditions to be met before I proceed in my life, as much as I believe that there are some plans that can go concurrently. Last year, I discussed my plan extensively with you, and your response was to give time, and time passed by, giving me an option to get a PhD form before I can proceed to marriage. Okay, I explained all my plans and all that. Then this one says it is not in my plan to get married next year. Next year plan is stated already, and getting married is what I want to settle, and no doubt there is a God factor in this. I don't want any constraint to the fulfillment of God factor in my life. Daddy, you said there is no difference between December and now. Daddy, a lot can be achieved between December and now. I am obtaining my PhD form by December, and my program starts next year. So settling down for me is the right thing to do now. Then I concluded to say, Daddy, I'm writing this from the deepest part of my heart, and all I need is your support, which I've always been getting. But much more, consider my happiness. Daddy, look beyond your condition. Look inward and seek God's permission. I look up to your blessing. Look back and think of the moment I have made you smile, that I have made you laugh, and the moment I have ever made you happy. This is my heartfelt. This might be big for you to embrace. Daddy, make the sacrifice for me. I have never let you down. I am proud of you anytime, any day. I will always do. Daddy, I love you. I love the way you father me. Didn't take this for granted. I value it like any other. You mean more than anything to me. I celebrate you, Daddy. I love you, Daddy, and always. This is my feedback on our discussion. Daddy, embrace it with a good heart. Thank you, sir. Your daughter, Adebimpe Oluwasayo. I had to just, paraphrase some places for you. This was the letter I wrote to my father, and my father read this and gave a response of, and that he has read through it, that okay, that you fix a time for us to meet. And we met. In fact, when I met and discussed some things with him, he said, okay, tell the person to come over, let's have a one-on-one chat. And to God be the glory, they had a one-on-one chat, and immediately the day he met my father was the day we fixed our introduction. Can you see the way God works? Although the scripture says wisdom is profitable to direct, yours might not be to write a letter to your father. Yours might just be, okay, just look for somebody your father respects so much that okay, this is the only person that can call my father to order. This is the only person that that can talk to my daddy. It can be your pastor, it can be maybe his elder brother, like somebody you respect so much that okay, you can talk to him. It might even be his wife, it might be anybody. So I believe there is nothing God cannot do, because I know in a way fathers, they want to have this, especially for their daughters. They want to have this, plans for them, like this one. And to God be the glory, that wasn't jeopardized. To God be the glory, I finished my master's program strongly. Even it came for my convocation, and during my convocation, it was fantastic, because I made him proud. So this is just for somebody out there. A no isn't final. If you are somebody like me that doesn't take a no for an answer, and especially when you've seen the signals, and when you have your own conviction, just look for what your father loves. Look for what your father loves. I know my father loves to be to be praised. He loves to be valued. He loves to be cherished. See the content of my letter. I was just praising him, adoring him, and nobody can read that kind of letter and if you still say no now. I've touched like the deepest part of his heart. So just look for how you can touch your father's heart. It can even be through an act. It might even be through buying something for him, and at the end of it we just come up, so what were you even talking about the other day? If you can have the opportunity to talk to him one-on-one, because in my own case I really do not have the opportunity to talk to him one-on-one, but I had the privilege to write a letter and send it to him. Even when he said, "Bibi, you've never written any letter to me before. This will be the first letter you've ever write to me." I said, "Dad, because I am helpless, and that's the best I can do." I know till now, I know we still have that letter for me to have it, and it's already like over 3 years already that I'm married. So if there is anyone out there, the first thing to do is pray about it first. Commit his heart to God, or anyone that is not in agreement, especially when you see signals all around, when you are convinced. Tell God about it. He knows the way to handle it. He knows the way to come by. He knows what to do. As I've said earlier, you might not use my own, I'm just using my own scenario to make you see that nothing is impossible. If God has given you wisdom, then adopt it, and you will see light at the end of the tunnel, as I've seen. So I want to encourage you, don't give up. Don't give room for doubt. Don't give room for depression. Be happy. Just know that God is working things out for you. God did my own within a space of a month. God did it, and I have a testimony. I have something to share now, which I know very soon, if you devise 1 or 2 things also, it will work out for you. So thank you very much for joining me. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment. If you enjoy, give a like. If you want to see more of this relationship talk, let me know in the comment section. And don't forget, don't just watch, don't forget to subscribe. I love you all. See you some other time. Bye.